I took a pill I found on the dark web. When I woke up, I was in someone else's body. Yesterday I was a 12-year-old boy in Bay City, Michigan, and now I am a 27-year-old office monkey in Hawaii. I know this sounds crazy, just let me start from the beginning. I remember who I am and everyone else I've been since I took whatever that pill was. Before all of this, I was 19, constantly escaping to the never-ending rabbit hole on the dark web. I have found some really potent stuff on there and went through some intense internal realizations under an altered consciousness. Eventually I ended up on this dark web forum. People were talking about their craziest trips, pointing out good links to reliable marketplaces, and some even pointed out stores with stuff I've never heard of. And that is when I checked my email and found out about exit stints. Keep in mind, in no way did I give out any of my information, let alone my email. At the time, I wasn't thinking. I sent a message back along the lines of "Who the hell are you and how did you get my email?" Expectedly, I got an email back from the same person. Word for word it said, "Don't act so surprised you're on the dark web. Enjoy your trip," as unnerved as I was. There was this odd sense of generosity behind whoever sent that email. He did snatch my email without my knowledge, but all that occurred to me was that he wanted me to have a good time. And so I went on that website and clicked on the About page. The only information that I extracted from that page was this. You can buy exit stents in gel tabs or in liquid vials. It has been made under the combined knowledge of pharmaceutical scientists and neurologists. There is nothing quite like it. At the time I was digging it, I was so down. That same day of discovering the site, I converted some cash into bitcoins and got myself 2 gel tabs. I wasn't going to sugarcoat the first experience and just get a feel for it. I was planning on going off the dimensional grid that I was currently in. About a week goes by and this junk mail comes in. Looks like your generic business envelope that you would tear in half and toss in the trash in the blink of an eye. But I just knew there was something about the envelope that really got to me, and so I opened it up and noticed a piece of paper looked like some sort of bill. But at the bottom corner I noticed 2 tiny green squares just attached. This was it, that was the exit, I ordered. I waited until the sun set and then set both of them on my tongue. 10 minutes go by, exactly 10 minutes. I remember everything shifting, bending, and breathing. I would look at my own limbs and notice that something was off. I'd double take and look at them again, and I saw something different, whether it be shape, size, even texture. Something was different about everything every time I looked at it. It was your expected, powerful, spiritual acid trip. And that's what it was for the rest of the night. And it was only when I woke up that I noticed something was wacky. And that's where it all began. I woke up, looked in the mirror, and I was a girl in a whole new house with a family, this white suburban family with a dog and 2 cats. My room was pink, I had a MacBook and on it was my Facebook account, except I wasn't myself. I was Cindy Linton. I looked at the school ID and noticed my graduation year was 2016. That day, I was Cindy Linton, a senior. I felt all of the blood rush to my face, every thought hitting me at once. Was I still tripping? I had to have been. I knew who I was, but I didn't. I knew that I was still Sailor, but I wasn't. It's like I recognized my original identity yet built off of the one I currently had. My dad then called me downstairs. It was dinner time. I told them about how my day at school was. I fed my dog Lucky my vegetables underneath the table. I had vivid memories of what I did in class, and I had a firm grasp on my schedule for volleyball next week. I was Cindy Linton and I told them all about it. After that, I just went to bed. I'm not going to cover every one that I have either been or jumped into, but this has been going on for well over 3 weeks, and at this point I'm used to it. But there's a problem that I can't ignore no matter how much I try to live my new life and adjust to the changes. This keeps pulling me back. It's the dreams. No matter who I am, when I close my eyes, the dreams are always the same. I'm walking down a long, dark hallway. The air is chilly, and I can hear the sound of my footsteps echoing around me. I reach a door at the end, and when I open it, I see myself, the real me, the original me. He's sitting in his room, staring at his computer screen, and on the screen is the email, the one that started all of this. I've tried to ignore it, to dismiss it as just a part of the trip, but it keeps coming back every night, the same dream, the same eerie feeling of dread. Yesterday, in my dream, something changed. The me in the computer room turned around and looked at me. His eyes were hollow, like 2 deep black holes. He reached out his hand towards me. But before I could do anything, I woke up. This morning. As I looked at my reflection in the mirror, I didn't see the 27-year-old office worker. I saw the original me, the 19-year-old me. But those eyes, those hollow eyes, they were the same. And as I looked closer, I noticed something else, a slight mark on my hand, the one that was reached out in my dream. I don't remember it being there yesterday. It's a small circular mark with an intricate design, exactly like the logo of existence. Suddenly my phone buzzes. I pick it up and there's an email notification. It's the same email address as before, the one from the dark web, the one that started all this. The subject line reads, "It's time to come back home." I stare at the screen, my heart pounding in my chest. I take a deep breath and open the email. The body of the email contains only 2 words, "Don't sleep." Chills run down my spine. Don't sleep the dreams? Is that what this is about? I glance at my reflection in the mirror again. My hollow eyes stare back at me. They've always been there, staring back at me in the mirror of every new identity, a haunting reminder of who I really am. I try to rationalize it, convince myself it's another part of the trip, but I know deep down that it's the dreams, the hollow eyes, the mark on my hand. It's too much to be just a coincidence. I look down at my hand again. The mark, once a light pink, has darkened to a deep, angry red. It feels hot to the touch, pulsating with an energy I can't explain. It's as if the mark is alive, a part of me, or perhaps something else entirely. Suddenly there's a knock at the hotel door. I freeze, my blood turning to ice in my veins. Another knock, louder this time. I take a step towards the door, then hesitate. The air around me feels charged heavy, the feeling of dread that has been lingering since the dream grows stronger. I step back, my heart pounding in my chest. A third knock insistent. It's accompanied by a voice that sounds eerily familiar. It's my own voice, calling my original name, Sailor. We've been expecting you. I glance at my reflection in the mirror one last time, my hollow eyes staring back at me. Suddenly, the mark on my hand begins to glow, casting an eerie green light throughout the room. I can feel it now, a pull, a calling. It's like the mark the exit stance is drawing me in as the knocking continues, and my own voice keeps calling me. The world around me starts to warp and bend again, but this time it's not just my surroundings. I can feel myself changing, morphing. I look down and gasp. My hands, once familiar, are shifting, fingers elongate, skin hardens, and a new, terrifying transformation begins. My reflection in the mirror is no longer the office worker, no longer the 19-year-old me. I'm something else entirely, and the mirror is no longer a mirror. It's a door, a gateway to where I don't know. But I have a chilling realization this is far from over. This is just the beginning. The knock sounds again. Impatient, I take one last look at the email on my phone screen. The word seared into my brain. Don't sleep. But as I look into the mirror door, the reflection looking back at me is not quite human. I wonder if I'll ever sleep again, because whatever I've become, whatever is knocking on my door, whatever is waiting on the other side of the mirror, it's not human, and I don't think it's friendly.